Hey everyone, Vlad here. This video will be an introduction to the Daily Ops Uplink missions in Fallout 76, so let's get things started. Alright guys, so we have a lot of ground to cover, but I want to make this as informative but as quick as possible. So let's jump right into how we're going to access the Daily Ops. For that, we're going to need to bring up our world map. From there, on consoles, you can bring it up the Daily Ops menu using the D-pad, and it will appear in the lower left portion of the map. It will tell you what enemies to expect for the day, what mutations they will have, and what location you will be visiting to complete the op. Now for locations, we will be visiting one of 4 locations. They are the Burrows, which is probably the most challenging just due to its layout, Valley Galleria, Vault 94, which also can be challenging once until you know the layout, and then the Burning Mine, which I think is probably the easiest of all the locations just because a lot of the checkpoints are very close together. So once we get into these locations, we're going to have to deal with the enemies, and the different types of enemies we can encounter are going to be robots, super mutants, and blood eagles. Now these are not the ones that you encounter out in the main wasteland. They do have different mutations that make them unique and will give you a unique challenge for the day. So the first one is going to be Piercing Gaze, and this one is guaranteed. That means that they have greatly enhanced perception, which translates to the fact that your sneaking is not going to work. Don't expect to get extra damage from sneaking, and do not expect to be able to hide from enemies to avoid taking damage. Now they can get a random roll for one of the other different types of mutations for the day, and this will stay the same for the entire day, so don't think that logging out and logging back in will change the specifications for the daily op. So the other mutations are going to be resilient, which means that enemies only die with melee attacks. You can take down their health down to almost 0, but you will have to finish them off with melee, so that means having someone with a melee weapon or doing a bash on them up close. Then you have the Freezing Touch mutation, which means that enemies slow you down when they attack you. This can prevent you from getting from point A to point B very quickly, and that slows you down, which impacts your ability to gain the rewards for the day. The next one is going to be Volatile, which means the enemies explode on kill. Just be very careful with your proximity to enemies when you kill them. Avoid doing that death blow when they're right in your face. And then you have Active Camouflage, which means that enemies are cloaked when they're not attacking you. This one I think is one of the most challenging other than the Resilient one, just because you can't use VATS while it is in effect. And I do suggest using some Berry Mentats to at least highlight where the enemies are at when they're not attacking you. So what are we going to be doing once we enter the daily op? There are different objectives to complete for the uplink missions. The first one is going and repairing a signal repeater, and that you'll go to the location marked on your map. You'll press the button that it says to repair the radio, and be careful of melee attacks during this. It will interrupt your ability to complete the repair. Once that is done, which doesn't take very long, run to the first objective point, which is going to be boosting one of the signals. It doesn't matter which one you go to, there will be 2 of them, but choose one of them and go to it first, and you will do a similar task as the radio. You'll press the correct button next to it, and that will start the signal boosting. You'll have to stay in the area in close proximity to the signal repeater to boost it, and you'll be constantly being attacked during this time frame. Now, the more people in your team you have next to the booster while this is happening will make it go faster. So I definitely, if you're having trouble with completing in a time frame, make sure you get a team so that you can at least make these portions of the challenge go faster. Once you've completed the boosting of the first signal, you'll run to the next signal and complete the process again. Once you complete that second signal boosting, you'll be told to go to a location on the map to locate the enemy group. That will highlight enemies that you need to kill. Once all of those enemies with the highlighted diamond above their head are eliminated, you'll get the last objective, which is going to be to kill the enemy leader, which is the boss for the fight. Now, don't expect these enemies, when you kill them, to drop a whole lot of loot like they would in the Wasteland. Expect them to drop things like ammo specific to your gun weapon type, as long as it's part of the loot pool for the daily ops. Expect it to drop stim packs and expect it to drop explosives, but do not expect anything else beyond that. You'll be getting your XP and you'll be your rewards at the very end of the daily op. Now, once you complete the daily op, you'll be rewarded based off your time of completion. So it's very important that you move between the objectives as quickly as possible. Your first level of completion is going to be Initiate, and that means that you complete this in less than 16 minutes. The next one is Paladin, which means you completed it in less than 12 minutes. And the highest rank is going to be Elder, which means you completed it in less than 8 minutes. Now, you can do this in several different ways. Some people decide to complete each tier individually by doing the event 3 times. Some people will like to complete all of them at one time and just get the Elder rank the first time through. If you want the Elder rank the first time through, I still suggest going through and doing it with a team. You can complete these individually solo, but you will be challenged depending on the different mutations for the day with meeting the time frame, because you really have to be able to do this moving as quickly as possible to do it solo. Now, the different tiers will unlock different rewards for you. The Initiate gives you a small chance at a legendary reward. Paladin gives you a improved chance of getting that legendary reward, and the Elder tier will give you the great chance of getting the legendary reward. These tiers can only be earned once a day, so if you unlock Elder tier the first time through, it'll also give you the role for Initiate and Paladin to see if you get some of these legendary rewards. The most I've ever gotten at a time has been 2. But technically you could get 3 different legendary rewards if you complete each tier at the same time. But it's a luck of the draw type thing, so some people think doing them individually gives you a better chance of getting a good roll instead of, the logic simulator just giving you a dud for each one as it does them together. So you can choose whatever best strategy works for you. If you're pressed for time, I suggest just doing the Elder tier once, getting the rewards, and you can try again tomorrow if you don't get what you're looking for. So that's my quick introduction to daily ops in Fallout 76 and the Uplink missions. And I hope they were helpful for you. Don't forget to leave a like if it helped you out. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. I'll be glad to help you out. I am going to put together a video of the different rare rewards you can get when I have a chance. And I'm also going to put together a location-specific guide for each location. And I've also created some maps to go along with that so you can plan your route throughout the operation. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll catch you next time.